Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Azika Hanindita, and right now I would like to tell you about my analysis from article that I choose is When Does Morphology Matters? So from the article, we're gonna analyze the 5W1H. So let's start with who. Who is the author? The author is M.A.R. Cole. And for the what is the main topic? The article investigates under what circumstances when an organism morphology significantly affects its performance and ecological success. And what is the key concept or the theories methods? The performance phenotype linked. The paper emphasized the performance of an organism as the bridge between morphology and ecological success. And ecomorphology, how morphology relates to environmental context, especially ecological and mechanical constraints. And constraint and novelty, the idea that morphological change can lead to new function, but that constraint may limit or channel morphological variation. And nonlinear, context-dependent relationship. The relationship between form and function is not always straightforward, like small change in shape, size, stiffness, or habitat can have large or unexpected effects. And also the major finding is first, morphology's effect on performance is nonlinear and highly context-dependent. Second is even small morphological change can yield novel function in the right context. And the third, conversely, some changes in form may have little to no effect on performance. Organism may vary morphologically without corresponding loss or gain in function. And also the impact of morphology depends on multiple interacting factors such as size, shape, stiffness, habitat, posture, and behavior. And mechanistic organism level analysis can correct or challenge conclusion from purely statistical or descriptive ecological evolutionary studies. And the last is this mechanistic insight can inform broader ecological and evolutionary question, for example, like how morphology influences foraging, competition, adaptation, and even the interpretation of fossils. And when is the publication date? It's on November 1996. And for where is the geographical or ecological settings? Rather than a single location, the article is broadly ecological organism. It draws an example from many organisms to illustrate morphology-performance relationship. And population community focus, it's not focused on single population but on organismal biology and functional morphology across diverse taxa and life histories. And the publication source, it's Annual Review of Ecology and Systematic Review Journal. Why purpose of the study? It's to clarify when morphological difference matter for organismal performance and ecological success, and to challenge simplistic assumptions by showing that the form-function relationship can be complex, context-sensitive, and surprising. Also to advocate for mechanistic, quantitative analysis in ecological and evolutionary research, not just descriptive statistics. Why it is very important and significant, advances understanding in ecomorphology, how organismal forms interact with ecological and physical force, provides a framework for interpreting morphological variation in an evolutionary context, and helps bridge ecology, evolution, and biomechanics by emphasizing the functional consequence of morphology. Why relevance to linguistics or course terms? Though this is biology or ecology paper, the notion of morphology matters. The way form relates to function is analogous to how morphological structure in language relates to meaning or grammatical function. And the idea of nonlinear, context-dependent relationship could map onto linguistic morphology or morphological alternations or inflections might have different performance. And the methodological argument can resonate with linguistic theory debates. And how research methods are approached, primarily mechanistic quantitative analysis. Cole draws up on biomechanical models, physical principles, and empirically measure performance to understand how morphology affects function. Uses comparative examples across different organisms to generalize insights. And how about the data collection and analysis? Empirical data from prior experiments or literature, measuring how change in shape, stiffness, size, posture, or behavior influence performance in ecological settings, and also use of the theoretical models to predict performance under different morphological and environment parameters. And the last is analysis of nonlinear relationship, attention to scaling or size, stiffness, mechanical constraints, and flow regimes. And how method supports conclusions. By using mechanistic models, the article can show causal links, not just correlations between morphology and performance. Quantitative modeling reveals when tiny morphological change produce large performance effects, something descriptive statistic might miss. And the framework help explain exceptions by showing that under some environmental or behavior contexts, morphology may be less constraining. And also, such modeling provides predictive power. Knowing how form scales with environmental or size allows prediction about performance in untested organism or context. And I think that's it for today, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.